just like this in Rome, with about 95 cars there. We have 101 cars here in Allentown that we take care of. It's a long story. Everybody sort of asks, how did this all, why Allentown, why, you know, a billionaire jewelry magnate from Rome. Doesn't have an American driver's license, doesn't have a green card, doesn't have anything. He lives in Rome, he was born in Rome. Why Allentown? Well, about almost 20 years ago, he wrecked one of his cars on his estate up in Millbrook, New York in the Catskills, and it rolled into an oak tree. And J.C. Taylor's an insurance company, and through the grapevine, he found out that there was this young kid in Allentown with a baseball hat that can do a fabulous job on a car. So they sent the car to me. I never met Mr. Bulgari, and I was doing it for the adjuster for J.C. Taylor. About halfway through the job, Mr. Bulgari came in with Alfredo. This is Alfredo Mercado. This is Mr. Bulgari's right-hand guy worldwide. They came in to see the car, went crazy about what we were doing for the restoration. They left, gave me a whole list of extras. Rebuild the engine, redo the wood, redo the interior. And I'm thinking, who's paying for this? Because you know, sometimes on a different job you might say, well, there's a scuff there. Can you fix that while it's here and wash it into the insurance? You know, but we're talking $30,000, $40,000 worth of extra work. So I started working on it, worked it into the shop. It was only me and 2 other guys, and we had like 501 customers, and good customers, but not on that level. And as we're doing the job, we pretty much did a little just to be able to pay the bills, because we were working on all the other stuff that we were getting draws from the insurance company. Long story short, car's finished about 8 months later. Tractor trailer picks it up, one of the big carriers, and away the car went. We sent the bill to New York. They wired the money, which I didn't even know what a wire was back then. I had a rotary phone, so fax machine wasn't even happening. And it's just a great story. And I got a call. Mr. Bulgari wanted me to go to New York to have a meeting with him. This was after 3 months. I didn't realize that he didn't go to these places, because I still didn't know who he was. So they sent a car. I went to New York. I realized I felt like Crocodile Dundee getting out at 735th Avenue, and there's Bulgari on the side of the building, and that's when it hit me like, well, this is somebody. And so I started doing cars for him worldwide, and pretty much oversee pretty much everything. All the cars in Italy either come here in parts and crates. We rebuild everything, restore everything, send it back as sub-units like an engine and trans, or upholstery's all done. Or the whole car comes here, we do it, and then send it back. So all the cars that you'll see on the patch are either from here or in Rome, and they go back and forth. We switch them with containers, or fly them to, like we just had a car in Shanghai for Buick for the unveiling of the new Buicks in Shanghai. So we, you know, that gets flown over, and so now it's like a dream job. Like I get paid to do what the average guy would be doing for a hobby. For me, it's like a dream come true, and I go to every show. You know, I deal with all the restorers that, you know, that do everybody else's cars in the world, from Pebble Beach to Amelia Island to Valledesta, and they're all like envious of me, because with Mr. Bulgari, his passion is about the history and saving everyday man cars. I mean, the guy could have 70 Ferraris in a row, every best Bugatti built, every best Alfa built. It's not his passion. He is above those collectors that collect to keep up with the Joneses, or what should I collect because I'm wealthy. And that's what Ralph Lauren, you know, I'm not picking on these guys. They need to be saved as well, but those cars are saved. So he's into a whole different level, and he's dreamt of this since he's 9 years old. He would watch the Vatican procession in Rome and sit with a Buick or a Cadillac brochure, thinking that car would go by. And imagine the cars that were going by in these processions, or the Mille Miglia. The best Alfas, the best Bugattis, the best, you know, craziest, you know, Mercedes Gullwings, and he'd be, you know, nope, it's not the one I'm looking for, and it just didn't happen. And he'd watch the procession. All the Pope cars were big American classics, and this like his whole life was about doing this. So we buy cars, and he has a whole list of what exactly he wants Art Deco wise, or what is a meaning of Americana history for everyday man. Everyday man could have bought every car pretty much in here. We have Packards, we have V16 Cadillacs, you know, we have big guns, but he only likes certain ones. Packard, not Dietrich, not, you know, LeBaron, special coach built. He likes the certain ones. And if we keep a car original, it's completely original. You know, we have cars in here with 4,000 original miles from 1940. Original paint, original interior, original glass, original chrome, nothing's been redone on the car. Service work to keep it on the road, and as if you see, look behind the cars, Every car is plugged into a maintain charger. Every car on the place is licensed. Every car has Sunoco 115 racing fuel in it, so it doesn't go bad. And it has lead, which, you know, the valve seats and all that whole deal. If we restore a car, we put hardened seats in so that we can run more pump gas if we have to. But he drives each and every car. The last time he was here, what, 2 weekends ago? We drove 34 of the cars in 2 days. And I don't mean just like out around the block and home. I mean, we drive, you know, an hour and a half this way, 2 hours this way. We switch cars. I mean, that whole grass field is filled with cars that we've driven.
And highest speed too, by the way.
Yeah, he's from Italy. Yeah. You know, it's like the Buick Century. I don't know if you know a lot about history, but the Buick Century, it was named the Century because it could go 100 miles an hour. So every time so does Keith, tell me what's the top speed? We get a car and it's like, or we finish a car and it has to tell me, how's it handle? What's the top speed? Right away, it's like you gotta go out and you gotta get on the freeway and you gotta bury it until either something flies apart, he wants to know. Because as they say, he puts them away wet over in Italy. I mean, he drives the autostrada, he really uses his cars. I think Ravino will attest to that. Yeah.
I wanted to sort of add to what Keith says, and I'm sort of directing this to those of you who are from General Motors. The one thing that Keith said about Nicola's passion, and he says in a way Americans themselves have kind of forgotten how good your cars are. And he says what he really likes, the simple Chevrolet from the 30s and 40s, when the rest of the world was running around in horse and cart, you know, we were making, you know, properly manufactured automobiles that could go for 200 to 300,000 miles. And he says, somewhere along the way, from let's say probably the 60s through the 90s, you know, we lost our way as a manufacturer. But I have a number of these, well, V-Series Cadillacs that I keep in Europe, okay? And I'm between Corvettes. I'm waiting for the bigger engine or the faster Corvette to come out. But you make the best cars in the world. And
no doubt.
For reasons that escape me, and I think I'd sort of blame GM marketing, you are not able to convince, you know, basically a section of the American public that only buys a German car. And quite frankly, you know, we live with these cars in Europe all the time. And when we drive the CTSV or the STSV or whatever, or Corvette, you cannot imagine the kind of reaction you get from people on the road. And these cars handle better than anything else out there. And yet, you know, we come here and, you know, people say, I buy a Mercedes, buy an Audi. But they don't know what they're buying.
I have a CTSV in London. I park it on the streets. I get more compliments on that car. No one knows what it is. They've never seen it.
Yeah, the Austin Martins you walk
and
right
then
past.
Mark and I took a CTSV from London, drove it down to Normandy. I mean, it was an amazing trip. We lit it up the whole way.
You know, Mr. Bullery has a CTS wagon that he had basically Callaway really massage up in Germany. Really flies. And we had it as a Camaro, and we took it for, I don't know, it was like a 2.5 hour drive up the autostrada. I mean, and you're driving 140, 150 for 2 hours straight. It's unbelievable over there. And truly, that's where the car should be driven. That's when you can, I mean, flat out run the cars. And you pull over at a road rest, and you instantly have a car show. Just with your car, the people come over, they ask, what is it, first of all? Like it came from the moon. And then they're like, where can we get it? How much are they? Like all these questions, and you're like, this is ridiculous. You know, these people see this stuff and they have no idea what it is, and the marketing is just so bad over there for whatever reasons, I don't know. And so Mr. Bullery is always striving. I mean, he's like walking around at Monza, at the track. I mean, he has a GT3 team that is Corvettes. It's run by Giovanni Ciccone and Ernesto Werth. Right, Callaway cars. And I mean, you know, we're walking around in shirts like this, where, you know, the Ferrari team's beside of us in the full flannel gear, helmets, right? I mean, running factory-back teams. And then you look up and you see P1 and P2 qualifying both of their cars. And you want to talk about annoying people over there that are just pulling their hair out, like, how can this be? And then the next year after they won the championship, if I'm not wrong, they made the Corvette team add 90 pounds to their car. Really? Really? That's how this is for racing? This is ridiculous, you know? And it's amazing. I mean, it's true. And there's Mr. Bulger, you know, right? Total, you know, guy supposed to be from Rome, and he's like, you know, basically walking around with his American flag with the Corvette banner on it. Like, dude, you're gonna get killed over here. You know? I mean, you know, it's truly amazing, and that's where his heart and soul is.
Well, last weekend at Red Bull Ring, the Callaway Corvette won by 0.2 of a second over an SLS Mercedes, and it weighed 3,140 pounds because of the penalty weight.
Exactly. It's just.
You guys make
The passion
And
hands down.
that is a crashed, no, that is a capture test fleet Z06 that they got in 2005 because of Dave Hill. That car is what, now 8 years old, and it is still, right now it's a leading championship.
Well, keep pounding and grinding, because I mean they are the best cars on the road. You know, the Cadillac, of course, it's pretty much the offspring of the Corvette. I mean, it's, you know, and in fact, we have Mario Andretti lives about 20 minutes from here, and a really good friend, and, you know, he's so adamant, you know, when he was testing the cars, you know, he tested the Cadillac CTSV, the XLR, and the Corvette, and he, you know, even in those cars, he said they were so similar on the track, but he said that for a sedan,
That's a rocket.
he said it actually felt better. For some reason, it felt better. And it's, you know, this guy's still running IndyCar, two-up IndyCar. I don't know if you've ever seen it on TV. You might have seen the commercial of him driving the two-up IndyCar. I mean, he actually is only this much off of qualifying at Texas Motor Speedway with a two-person IndyCar. Did anybody see that commercial? Yeah. Mm-hmm. Isn't it great? You know, when he's going by the stands and they got music playing, he looks at a girl and his eyes are going up. Yeah. So but this is a guy that really, I mean, you know, you got a guy like that behind the wheel. I mean, he's driven everything. So it's really cool, and it's really amazing how much, you know, he has a ZR1 with, you know, number 500 built, and, you know, you go in his garage. I mean, it's, you know, he's a diehard guy with the same thing, and you see it with the real guys that want to do this because they have the knowledge and the heart and the passion of it, you know, that get it. You know, you guys aren't just buying a car because it says Corvette. I mean, you get behind the wheel and it sells itself, all of them. They're unbelievable. I drive an Avalanche, I drive a CTSV. I mean, it's, you know, and this is the funniest part. I've been born and raised here. That, you know, this is where I live, you know, was raised just 10 minutes west of here. And it is really a lot of fun because a lot of times people are like, you know, how do you and Mr. Bulger like communicate? You know, like, you know, I'm a mechanic. I do the restorations, and I'll take you up to the shops then. And he's, you know, he definitely has a different lifestyle than me. A lot different. So, you know, like I mow my own grass. I don't know if he has a clue what happens to this grass. It's a big difference, you know?
Yes, people do it.
Like when he's in town and it's like, you know, it's like he's here for 5 days and I'm like, man, wonder if I can sneak home and do this or mow the grass or add water to the fish pond or, you know, and it's like, you know, I know I can't bring it up to him because like, isn't there people that do that for you? No, you know, and so, but it's the cars, just like everybody here today, it's the cars and is what the passion in my brain waves at work, you know. Calls me every day, every single day. We'll get him on the horn today. He's chomping at the bit to see what showed up and stuff. And does he know those cars are coming? No. You're an idiot. I think, you know, I mean, he has a lot. I mean, he can't be everywhere, and he, you know, he's chomping. Oh, I wish I could be there. I wish I could be there. I think if he would have known that was coming, and you. No, it's a pleasure for everybody to be here. Thanks. And, you know, every car out there is great. Don't get me wrong. I even saw the, you know, the Mustangs coming in, and I saw the cool stuff. I don't, you know, but and the ZR1, that Ford got chastised. I mean, with the row of 4 Z06s, but that's a cool car. I mean, there's no doubt about it. So don't take it like it's only the C7s out there. So. I'll put it here if you want. Yeah. Right? So what we have in here. And if you come here, we rotate cars because we drive them. If you came back here in 2 months, you wouldn't even recognize it because it'd be all different cars. But it's only because we drive them. It's all about drivability, all about roadability. Even though the cars are all original, some of them.
Quiet. Nicola. Hello. Everyone's here. Say hello. Wait. Yeah, it's hard. It's a crappy connection. Hold on. Yeah, sorry.
Tell them about the 47 Cadillac.
Oh yeah, so I know you guys are into, obviously, horsepower and road drivability. Out in the tent where we're going to have lunch, Mr. Bulgari has gotten on a little bit off of his track of preserving, and when we do an old car, we do every piece, every screw, every washer, every crown mark to be exactly original, just like you guys have for your Corvettes, you know, the vintage stuff. But he's been hanging out with Rick Hendrick a lot, and he's been hanging out with a lot of these race car guys, and he's really been getting into what we call a resto run, which is a complete original looking to the tires, to the interior, to the ride height. Everything about the car is original looking. So in the tent, you're going to see. Oh, he's so excited. He just wants to say hi.
He's just so excited.
Yeah, posso parlare adesso? And my Rodino. Thank you.
So the latest what we've been building is really cool. We took a 34. Hey. Hold it. Put me off a speaker. Hold on a minute. Hey. Hold on a minute. Hold on.
Okay.
All right. Go ahead. Go ahead. What? No. Dubai. Yes. No. We got all kinds of GM men. They drove the cars here. The 11 C7s are here, and you have the head of marketing for Cadillac. You have they're standing here. I'll get a picture. They're all wearing Corvette, shirts. It's killer. I can't believe Rodino didn't tell you that. He is a knucklehead. I mean, there's 11 C7s parked in the grass.
I got a picture of that.
I'm supposed to hit you, Rodino, when I get off the phone. No, it's unbelievable. I mean, here these things come driving in, and it's like, what is this? And he's like, I told you it'd be great. I'm like, does Nicola know? No. I'm like, why didn't you tell him? I mean, it's ridiculous, because,
This is great. It's a classic.
I got a picture.
Yeah. I'm going to send you some pictures. Where are you?
They're out there. 11.
All right, I'm going to send pictures. Is Stefano there? All right, I'm going to send them. I'm going to take a picture with everybody standing out with the Corvettes, and then you can see what you're missing. All right.
I just rub it in.
Alfred, Giorgio. Hey, Rodino, you're on death row. He laughs. So, the cars out in the tent are really cool, and I'm not going to take up a lot of time, but we have 11 original cars in here, meaning they're completely original, never been touched. I mean, we maintain them, we drive them. We went through all the pumps and to make sure it's safe to drive. But when I mean original, everything's original. There's 11 restored cars in here that we restored, and the rest we've been purchasing through other, collectors that either were restored or originals. But the ones in the tent are pretty cool. We built a 34 Buick 60 Series sedan, and we did the whole chassis is upgraded, 455, 70 Grand Sport motor, stage 2, 4-wheel disc brakes. Oh yeah, it's a monster. 700 R-Trans. It's a killer car. Yeah, it flies. Todd drove it last weekend. And the other one is, and if I didn't tell you this, I shouldn't have first, because they're just sitting out there and they look like another beautiful old restored car. And the other one is a 47 Cadillac limo with a big block in it. We put a snout, the front subframe of a new Suburban underneath it, and the car is like, you can go 90, 100 miles an hour. and you're in a modern car, everything on it, you know, 4-wheel disc brakes, you know, it's a killer beast, yeah. So, but you look at it, every square inch of it, you know, it doesn't have all the tricked out windows. It's got everything original looking, original style, original everything. So he's been getting into that lately, just because even though these cars run great, they only go 100. I mean, in his mind, they only go 80, 100 miles an hour. And it's like, you know, he gets on the highway and he's like, you know, okay, now what? You know, I want to go, there's no more pedal, you know? So he wants to drive faster, he wants to, you know, have more reliability, meaning, you know, if we drive to Baltimore from here, you know, I can, you know, find parts somewhere, I gotta get a, you know, spark plugs at the Napa store, whatever I gotta do, you know? So they're easier to fix on the freeway or on the roads, you know? So that's what we've been getting into lately, and they're out there. But if you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask.
What he does with the Ferrari.
Oh, yeah. I mean, when you get on the Autobahn or the Autostrada, I mean, you're in the passenger lane all the time with him, especially. And, you know, we'll go out and we'll drive 2 hours. And you just, as soon as you get on the freeway, there is no right lane. It's like, wow, you open it up and you're gone. And you just hold on to the guy in front of you and you're following him. And over there, I mean, you got the little Fiats, the police cars, the Policia, and, you know, they got the little doo-doo-doo. And usually they're passing you going somewhere, and you get on the freeway and it's like, you're going, I don't know, 130, 140, just winding up, and it's like, you hear it and all of a sudden, wait a minute, it's like, he's in the right lane and you're past him, he's going somewhere, like, doo-doo-doo, and it's like, it's like unbelievable, right? So, and when you're in the passing lane in Europe, and you know, I'm sure some people have been there, they're so courteous in the way as to, all you need to do is flash your headlights. You just flash the headlights and they move over. And when he builds a car here, it takes like he has twin turbo Callaways. I mean, he's got some monsters over there. He gets on the freeway and he's looking, and all he's doing is looking for Ferraris, Mercedes, Gullwings, Alfa Romeos. That's all he's looking for. BMW big ones, and he's looking for these things to catch them. And he wants to go up on their bumper and flash his headlights and whack the throttle, and this is his enjoyment. Some people like to go and hang out at the beach, some people like to go, not him, man, let's go chase some cars. Rufino, am I right? He gets the biggest kick out of it. Yeah. And even he has a Roadmaster station wagon over there, how about it? And a Roadmaster, I mean, just all zooted out, you know. You might have heard of SVI Incorporated, Specialized Vehicles Incorporated. Mike Curran, well, Nicola is like one of the only private customers that's doing work. And he did a bunch of cars for Nicola. So Nicola gets a kick out of it, right? When you come up behind the big, you know, Audi R8 something, and you're driving a 95 Roadmaster station wagon going 140 miles an hour, and you're flashing the headlights, and the guy looks in his mirror like, what the hell is that? First of all, what is that? That grill that looks like anyway. And then when you do pull over and it goes by you, and the wood graining goes by, and you're like, don't tell anybody, but I don't know, a land yacht just passed me. So it's truly, I love it. I mean, I have like the best job in the world, and hands down. You know, not many people can say they love to go to work. I mean, it's for me, it's what I've done since don't give up. Like I'm saying, this guy here, I just heard he runs micro sprints, and he wants to run NASCAR, he wants to run Indy cars, and I think that's just awesome at that age, and you know, good stuff. Don't give up. This was what I wanted to do when I was young. I was working in a restoration shop called Wendling Restorations. You might have heard of it, local place, and they were these two Pennsylvania Dutch guys, and most of the time I'm in the shop, I thought I was in a foreign country because all they did was talk Pennsylvania Dutch to each other. And I'm working on cars, and I was 15 years old, and I'm taking apart, the best one for me is, and I'm sorry to hold you guys up, but this is really neat. I'm sitting there and you wonder where you get to drive and what puts you over the top. And, you know, I was working in body shops, collision shops, working on modern junk. And I'm like working on it, and you know, like, you know, any monkey can put a fender on a car and this, and I'm like, I don't want to do this. Like, I had no relationship with the newer cars, you know. I mean, you go out, other than Corvette, Cadillac, a bunch of them. I mean, you know, the Mustangs, I mean, there's cars out there, but the rest of them all look the same. Whether it's Toyota, I mean, they're just like people movers, like I don't know, the Jetsons. I see them on like just doing this. I don't even know I don't even pay attention anymore. So I wanted this stuff. I wanted to, like, it had character. They all had their own, you know, every car has a different feel, whether it's driving, and it's just awesome. So I'm sitting in and I'm working on a 31 Cadillac Fleetwood touring sedan, and we're restoring it. And I'm sitting on when you open the door, they call it the step plate. I'm sitting there and I'm taking the door panel off. And you know, I learned how to document every part, photograph, and I'm doing that. And I'm just, you know, this young wetback, and they're talking and stuff. And as I take the car apart, I'm like, it's all wood. I don't know if you know about old cars, but they're all wood up till 1938, 39. There's a wood skeleton with a metal shell on them. And I see Bob Wendling written on the door. What is that? These guys. So I go find George, the brother, because Bob I couldn't find. And I tell him, and he comes over, and he starts laughing, and he starts carrying on, and he goes, walks, he finds his brother. They come back, and they're talking in Pennsylvania Dutch, and I'm like, all right, so what's the deal? You know, you guys, I mean, I thought it was kind of cool, right? Well, here, they both worked at Fleetwood Motor Company. They built the car new. Yeah, now I'm 15, and I'm like, what? What do you mean you built the car new? Yeah, we worked at Fleetwood. Wait a minute. You guys built this car at the factory in Fleetwood. You actually, yeah, you know, we put this in those nails, and we did all that. Oh my God. You know, that was like, for me, it was like, you know, like, this is what I want, this is what I'm gonna do. You know, I just loved it so much, and then that put me over the top, and then ever since that day, I always said, I am going to do the best work in the world that I can do, not only for me, and I will build it, and they will find me. Somebody will find me, because I'm not gonna fall off at all. I'm not gonna do something, for, as lack of words, half-assed. I'm not gonna do it, you know, even though you say, listen, no, don't worry, no, I'm not doing it then, forget it. I'm not doing it, I can't do it for me. Like, I have my own craziness, and that's the way I'm going to do it. And I worked 7 days a week, 3 years straight, not one day off, no vacation, and people thought I was like totally, you know, like mental. And now they all, you know, look, I mean, it's like, you know, now I'm like on the back of the world's fastest speedboat, and I can't.
All right, Michelangelo, just give us the tour.
Oh. Did you meet Mr. Douglas? All right, so. Lots of cars here. A lot of them have special stuff. As you can tell, the
Yeah, yeah.
supercharged